Hello everyone, it's Patti Behan and I want to thank you for joining me today. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this spooky I Put a Spell on You tag using Tim Holtz's Distress Villainous Potion. This is the newest color in the line and I challenged myself for this project to see how many of the products I could use while I make this tag. So let's get started. To begin, I die cut a number 8 tag out of Tim Holtz watercolor paper, and there's a smooth side and a rough side, and I'll be working on the rough side today. And I have my splat box here, and this is the Stampers Anonymous moon mask, and I'll be using the 2 smallest masks here to start, and I'm placing it near the top of the tag. And then I'm going to take the spray stain and I'll spray most of the tag and hold down the mask while I do that. And once that's done, I'm going to take the Distress Oxide Spray in Villainous Potion again. And first we have to shake it up to mix the pigment into the rest of the spray. And then we'll just randomly add that to the tag as well. And once that's done, I'm going to take a paper towel and just blot this. And then we'll remove that mask there, and I love how it seeped in under the mask a little bit. It gives it a little spooky feel. So let's get that out of the way and we'll dry this next. And now I'm going to take some Wild Honey Distress Oxide ink and color in the moon for a nice harvest moon color here. And I have the dome foam attached to my mini blending tool. And then I'll also add some more of this color randomly on the tag again, just to give it like a eerie kind of look to it. And then that's how it looks so far. Next, I'm going to spray some water on it just to give it a little more interest. When you spray some water on it and then you can let it sit a second, it'll remove the ink as it dries. And I'm using the heat tool to help it along, but it was still a little wet, so I'm blotting it. Now I'll put the second part of the stencil over the moon. And I'm going to go in with some Villainous Potion Distress Oxide ink pad, and I'll color in the stenciled area. And then I'll add a little more to the tag. And now we're ready to do some stamping. I'm using the Sketch Manor stamp set, and I'm going to take this tree here and stamp it with some black soot distress ink, and I'm going to stamp it at the bottom here a few times. So first I'll put it down here on the left. This is just adding a little more interest to the background of the tag, and you can see that's how it looks. And then we'll re-ink and stamp it 2 more times, re-inking in between. And next we're going to emboss over the moon here, so I want to make sure it's dry before we do that. And I'm taking the Halftone Halloween stamp set, and I'm using this witch here, and she's going to fly over the moon. Again, I want to make sure that's fully dry before we do any embossing, and I think we're good to go. I'm going to take the black soot again and ink up the stamp. and then I'll stamp it down right across the moon here. And then I'll grab a piece of scrap paper and I'm going to pour some Villainous Potion embossing glaze over top. Take off the excess, and I think I missed a spot, so let me pour some more on there. And then if you have any embossing powder that's sticking to the tag where you don't want it, I just take a paintbrush that's dry and get it off. And now I'm going to add some more bats to the background here before I heat the embossing powder. And I'm just putting ink on the area that I want and stamping it down, and pour the embossing powder over top again. Take off any excess, and I'll do it one more time. Return that to the jar, and then we'll heat it to melt. And then you can see how glossy that embossing powder melts to. It really makes it pop. Next we add our sentiment, and I'm going to be using the Bold Frights stamp set. And this "I put a spell on you" saying is perfect for this tag. So we're going to ink this up with some Villainous Potion Distress Oxide ink. And stamp it on the bottom of the tag like so. And then I'll grab my scrap paper again, and we'll pour some of the Villainous Potion embossing glaze again. Remove the excess and heat it to melt. And when it's done, it looks like this. Even though we're using mostly the same color here, the embossing glaze really helps it to stand out. Next, we're going to dye our ribbon. I have a 17-inch length of ribbon here, and we're going to take the spray stain again in Villainous Potion, and we'll go ahead and spray that. I have a paper towel to catch the excess. It's just easier to clean up this way. And then I'll put some oxide spray on here as well. And then we'll blot it to get rid of the excess. Next, I'm going to take a piece of orange ribbon that's the same size, and I'll put them together and fold it in half. And then I'll put the folded part through the front of the tag until I get a loop, and then put the tails through that loop. And once that's done, you're going to pull it tight like so. And then I think I need to trim these a little bit, so I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, and one more thing I forgot to do. Let's use the Villainous Potion paint here and an ink blending tool with foam, and let's just go ahead and accent the edges with the paint here. And I think that looks good. So there you have it. I used almost everything. I didn't use the dye ink pad, but I think it turned out really well, and this is a fun way to spark your creativity when you're starting a project, when you don't really know what to do. So I hope you'll give this a try, and if so, we have a link to the supply list in the description box below. And if you'd like to see more crafty videos, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.